All right, I'm Nick. Now today we are going to film the comparison video shooting the Hellcat Pro Comp, which we will refer to as the Hellcat for the remainder of the video. And we are going to shoot the Shield Plus Carry Comp, which we will refer to as the Shield for the rest of the video. Now we recorded this the other day and, well, there was no audio because I didn't turn on the little thing that collects audio. So that's a fail. And yesterday we got rained out, which we needed the rain, so that's probably a good thing. We'll do the same thing that we've done in some of the other ammo tests. We're about 8 yards from that target. We will use the left target to shoot the Shield. We'll shoot it first. We will use the right target to shoot the Hellcat. Obviously, we'll shoot that second. We will run 3 rounds into the top left target just to look at the accuracy of the pistol. And then we will run the rest of the targets or rounds into the target. First 5 or so we'll try to run into the hostage taker, and then the rest of them we'll just run center mass into the target, double taps and so on, as a defensive pistol will more than likely be shot. You guys will have an angle of the pistol, so you will be able to see the rise of the gun. We will talk about the difference of triggers, and then we will talk about the recoil impulse. Okay, so let's start off with the Shield. We are going to shoot 20 rounds through each pistol. Now, I've said this before, said it again, I like the Shield trigger. Not that it's the greatest thing in the world, but it has a light take up and a clean, crisp break. Okay, so we'll fire 3 into that top left target, and I'll post pictures at the end or after this so you guys can see the accuracy comparison and the overall shooting of the pistol. Alright, accuracy wise, that's pretty good in my opinion from a sub 3.5 or 3.5 inch so barrel from 8 yards. We'll run the next 5 rounds at a decent pace into the hostage. The goal will just be to find the dot and pull the trigger. We have obviously done size references in the past. Those are very small targets. That's okay. We're just out here practicing. The hostage is going to get shot. It's just part of the equation. Alright, that's 5. Now those 5, 1 hit the hostage shoulder, the other ones are all into the hostage taker, which is what we want. Now we should have 2 more rounds in here. We're going to run those to center target, double tap, and see how it goes. Alright, so those are both hits. This magazine does not lock back. Just kidding. Wait a minute, it didn't eject that. That's interesting. I thought that I messed up. Maybe there was a round in there, but that was a spent casing. Am I crazy? No, that was a spent casing. Huh. I'll have to review the footage and make sure, but unless I'm crazy, it didn't actually even eject that last round. I don't even know what happened. Let's count the holes. Now I feel like I'm being stupid. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I know there was 10 in there because I put 10 in there. I'm going to look at some more just to make sure I'm not crazy in this grass. But no. So, if that's the case, it did not eject that last round. This magazine has X's on it because it doesn't always lock back. I will review that footage. You guys probably saw it real time. I could just be crazy. And maybe there's a live round down there somewhere. I'm not 100% positive what happened. But there are 10 holes in that target, which was our most important thing that we're going for. As far as everything goes, it's looking good. We are going to run 10 more rounds. We are going to double tap 10 or double tap more rounds in there and see how we do as far as accuracy goes. All right, lock back, all 10, no issues there. And the results are pretty good. We'll post a photo of that at the end when we compare both guns. Now, as far as shooting, the gun shoots great, returns to the point of aim well. I really wasn't even finding the shot or the dot during those double taps. It's presenting the gun, pulling the trigger. In my opinion, that's what's going to happen in a defensive situation. That trigger is pretty good. I'm very comfortable with it. I am not the biggest fan of this trigger in the Hellcat. Not that I think it's actually bad. I'm just not used to it personally. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing from the same rough spot. We're going to fire the first 3 shots top left into that target, get an idea of accuracy, and then we will do the same thing we did with those. Alright, all 3 of those shots are a little bit lower right than the first 3 shots with the shield. Now, remember, I shoot the shield series a lot. The Hellcat trigger, I'm not the best with it. I definitely know that. It's taking some getting used to. I don't think it's bad. I just don't think that I'm used to it. Now, we're going to run the next 5 rounds into the hostage taker. Just kidding. We shot the hostage already. There we go. Alright, first shot was very low. I've already ran this test, obviously with no audio, and the first few of my shots with the Hellcat, they just haven't been very good. Getting used to that trigger is something, it's a real thing. That's why I say you should buy one platform, shoot it a ton, and be very proficient with it. I'm not 100% proficient with this pistol. I don't think it's bad. I just don't think that I shoot it enough to be good at it or even decent at it. We will run the remaining 2 rounds into the center of the target. We'll just double tap it. Now those are both perfect shots. What I like to see, lock back. I can't wait to go back and review that footage because now my mind is blown and I have no idea what happened. We will run the rest of these rounds, same thing, present pistol. I do not intend to find the dot every time. Just double tap the pistol, center target, and see how it does. Alright, now we'll go up there and we'll take a picture and we'll come back and we'll talk about the guns a bit more in a minute because I definitely have an opinion about the 2 pistols. Alright, on the left, that is the shield results. On the right, that is the Hellcat results. If we start with accuracy, the shield, every one of those is touching that little target from roughly 8 yards. The Hellcat, not nearly as good, in my opinion. Low right, but I'm telling you, that's not because of the gun. That's because I don't shoot the trigger enough. I don't look at that as a terrible thing. The rest of the hits, I did shoot low on the first hostage shot, or hostage taker shot. That's me, that's not the gun. But if you look at it overall, the rest of the hits are very good across the board. And I think that if you look at the flyers and the shield, the low shots, and then you look at the Hellcat in general, I truly believe that the Hellcat returns to your initial point of aim, or in this case, where we were pointing, better than the shield. 100% without question. It's not the first time. Remember, the second time I've done this test, the results are the same. I actually have the photo from the other day that I'll put up here as well. And here it is so you guys can see it. Not a terribly huge difference, but I told you in one of the other videos from the start, I thought the Hellcat, it returned to the point of aim. Like when you pull the trigger, boom, recoil, and the dot is right back, or the front sight is right back to where you put it. I really like that. That's important. Your follow-up shot is more important than the first shot most of the time, right? You want to be able to tink, and everything stay relatively flat. As far as recoil impulse goes, I think if you have a proper grip on the pistol and you shoot enough that you're not afraid of the gun, 'cause that's a very common thing. People are afraid of the recoil, and then it feels snappier or it feels like it's hitting your hand harder. I don't even notice the recoil anymore. I have to like think about it, and when I'm thinking about the recoil, I don't typically shoot well because I'm looking at the gun and I'm trying to figure out what is what. I would say that the Hellcat is pretty flat shooting. It's also extremely easy to rack compared to the Shield Plus carry comp. That thing is harder to rack than the Hellcat, which is important to some folks. Obviously, if you shoot a lot, you'll be able to manipulate both pistols without any kind of issues. But when it comes to recoil, that may change why the recoil impulse is different. Also, the grip itself on the Hellcat, let's refer to it as like a roundover bit on a piece of wood. This is very squared offish and just kind of rounded over. So it kind of fits your hand very blocky, and you feel this inside edge hammering your hand a bit. If you really look at it and think about it, that edge is hitting in here, and it will feel like the recoil is significant compared to something like this because it is a complete oval. It is rounded over, it fits the web of your hand better, and it distributes that blow evenly across the inside of your hand. Obviously, if you're right-handed, that would be the back right side of the gun. I'm left-handed, so it's the rear left-hand side of the gun on the Hellcat. Once we compare the grips in general, I do love how this is textured all the way up into here, and I love this indexing point. If you've seen the Shield Plus that I carry, then you know that I have added grip tape here and I've added grip tape out here. That way when I put my support hand on the gun, I have a reference and everything falls in line. I'm a big fan of that. Now, overall, I think they're both great, without a question. And it kind of pains me to say this because I told you guys the other day I might be a little bit of a Shield fanboy. I think the Hellcat is a better pistol. Will it hold up as well as the Shield? I don't know that. I'm saying out of the box, as far as shooting goes, this is a fine pistol. Now, it won't get the following that the Shield gets, maybe because of, Springfield's reputation in the past or their stance on 2A things. I get that. I'm just telling you, if you're in the market for this pistol, this is a quality pistol. A reason for me that I can't switch over all of my stuff to this platform, and I wouldn't do that, I'll keep my Shield Plus, is I have so many magazines, and I think that's an important thing for folks. It's hard to switch weapon systems to go somewhere new if you already have holsters and magazines, you're used to the grip. That stuff's important, okay? Like, if I have this pistol and a Shield Plus, and say my trigger breaks or something like that, well, I have two lowers that work on multiple pistols. That is something that I don't think is talked about enough. It's important. I'm a big fan of redundancy, okay? So we're getting a little long. We're doing a little extra rambling. But overall, both guns are great, okay? So don't think that one is significantly better than the other. I do think that this gun is less snappier, and it may have just as much recoil. It may have just as much muzzle rise. However, it returns to the initial point of aim very, very well. Whereas I felt like this drives the gun lower on the double tap. When it comes back, it is shot one, and then there's a lot of weight here going forward, and then it's shot two might be down here because of recoil. And you see that a lot when you add dots to stuff like this because now there's more weight going forward. That's it. We're rambling. Later today, I'm going to post another video where I shoot these two guns again at steel, and I'm going to put the little camera on my hat. That way you guys can see the gun as it transitions between different plates, different steel racks outside, okay? So if you have any comments or questions, go down below. Let me know your thoughts. I appreciate you taking the time to watch.